Welcome to Today in Rocket Science. I'm Adam Balkin, and we bring you this episode from the Consumer Electronics Show here in Las Vegas. Coming up, we'll show you some of the hot high-tech items on display here and might possibly even find some inspiration for you to end up here someday, showing off something you've created. In this episode, we'll get the scoop on the most cutting-edge tech here at the Consumer Electronics Show. Check out the latest in space and hear from none other than Bill Nye the Science Guy on what it means for you. Get a look inside this roving laboratory on wheels, and we'll take you to the big reveal for this year's first robotics competition. All part of Time Warner Cable's Connect a Million Minds initiative, aimed at connecting you to science, technology, engineering, and math opportunities in your community. All right, now let's check out some of the cool stuff going on here at CES. This year at CES, it was all about tech inside of everything. Tech in your toys, tech in your car, tech in your kitchen. But the coolest part, all those things talking to each other to make your life easier. CES is a unique opportunity for companies big and small to showcase their latest and greatest creations, and it's where science meets imagination. Think you've got a great idea? It's never been easier to bring it to life.
Entrepreneurship has never been so accessible, and using social, using IndieGoGo, I mean, you can't have excuses anymore. I mean, you want to package the idea, throw it up on the website, send it to your friends and family and fans, get that validation, get that feedback. Worst case scenario, they're just going to say, it needs to be a little bit better. I'm not ready to fund it. You know that drone idea you have? It needs to be a little bit tweaked. And that feedback will be so valuable. It might actually be more valuable than the funding. You'll just come back 2 months later, 3 months later with a whole new project, and then you'll crush it.
You may think that it's all for adults here, but there's a big focus on prepping the next generation of CES exhibitors. One group of tech leaders is making sure that there's a diverse pool of thinkers and that no girl is left behind.
I think one of the most amazing things about technology is the young generation is really leading the efforts in that area. And we might be very seasoned executives in what we know, but the young generation are digital natives. So we always bring the younger generation for inspiration and to share their wisdom by activating the changes that we want to see. We say it's not about what you look like on the outside, but it's how you feel on the inside, and encouraging all these young women to do what they do best with pride, with passion, with leadership, and bringing visibility to all these other girls around them.
Yeah, being a girl in robotics is absolutely amazing. It's great because you can inspire other girls who may be too shy to join, and it's good to have a different kind of view from other people, and yeah, it's an awesome experience.
Coming up later in this half hour, we'll bring you more from CES and see how some of the tech unveiled here could help prep you for a future STEM career. And we'll see how one young inventor brought his idea to life and is exhibiting on the show floor. All right, now let's step away for a moment from what's happening in this space and bring you some of the latest news from space. It seems like we're making great leaps in the race to space every day, and this month has been no exception. After eating the first ever space-grown lettuce a few months back, astronaut Scott Kelly has reached another out-of-space gardening milestone, the first ever flower grown in space. The zinnia flower, as well as the lettuce, represent important steps in humanity's journey to Mars. The ability to grow veggies in space could reduce the amount of food supplies astronauts would have to bring with them on the way to Mars, not to mention giving the astronauts a reprieve from packaged foods. The next group of astronauts to launch to the space station will be working to prepare the ISS for the arrival of commercial crew vehicles.
There will be the arrival of the first docking adapter for commercial crew, which we will install on the front end of the space station. Of course, that's a significant milestone. The first flight and subsequent flights of commercial crew vehicles will significantly expand the capability that we have for access to low Earth orbit, and specifically the space station.
Successful manned commercial spaceflight will mean astronauts can once again launch from U.S. soil, something they haven't done since NASA retired its shuttle fleet in 2011. One of the companies with a contract to be a part of that effort is Elon Musk's SpaceX, which hopes to bring down costs by reusing rockets. In a spaceflight first, they successfully landed their first rocket last month after it delivered 11 satellites to orbit. Their most recent launch didn't go quite as smoothly. The Falcon 9 rocket stuck the landing, but broke a leg on impact. But one STEM rock star doesn't want that to get you down. We caught up with Bill Nye the Science Guy at the recent New Year's Eve celebration in Times Square and got his take on the future of commercial spaceflight.
What keeps the United States in the game economically is our ability to innovate. And innovation is akin to invention and patents and new ideas. And that comes from science.
And if you've ever had any desire to build something like a rocket, you have to start somewhere. There are more and more science, technology, engineering, and math jobs being created each day, and not enough people with STEM skills to fill them. In New York City, an after-school and weekend program is taking a crack at closing that gap.
The truth is, we don't know what are the jobs that are going to be there when these kids grow up. Every study and research indicate that most of the jobs are going to be in the fields of STEAM. So we do believe that we should start at an early age to expose them to those areas.
Zeniak teaches 3D printing, computer coding, chess, tinkering, and more to kids from kindergarten to 8th grade. But despite the heavy learning, they say the hard part isn't getting students to stay, it's getting them to leave.
I think it's cool because you can learn while having fun. It's a lot easier to survive in the real world if you know STEM.
Something that seems like a fun game, but they're really learning technology skills and skills that'll help them throughout their career.
I think if we show them that it's fun to do all these different things like math and 3D printing and computer programming, they're going to look up to us and see that it actually really is fun and they're going to enjoy it.
As you can see, the STEM learning starts young at Zeniak, but the instructors say it's never too early to start learning these subjects.
We have kids here that are taking computer programming at the age of 5. Kids are grouped by how much they know in each discipline. So if there's a child at the age of 6 years old who can already code and do Scratch, he can be sitting with another child who's 10 years old and is being introduced to Scratch only now.
It's so important for them to be creative at a young age. I primarily teach math and 3D printing, and some of the things that they create in 3D printing blows me away.
And the STEM professionals in training here don't seem to mind one bit.
I love chess so much.
Zeniak launched in 2013 and already has multiple locations around the country. To find a campus near you, check out ZeniakLearning.com. We do have to stop here for a quick break, but coming up, more CES as we speak with a 20-year-old inventor with a new piece of technology that could turn any car into a smart car. Then, at the International Auto Show in Detroit, we meet the winners of a global competition to solve mobility needs in the world's hardest to reach places. And we head to Texas to hop aboard the Geek Bus, where STEM is going mobile. To find hands-on science, technology, engineering, and math opportunities in your community, visit theconnectory.org, made possible by Time Warner Cable's Connect a Million Minds.